Thank you, Cara Marie. Hi, everybody. Let me get myself adjusted here a little bit. Okay. Well, I was just telling Daniel a few minutes ago that we've been under contract with Finley House for about 9 months working on this. So this is our birthday party, really. Because we've created something together, we really have, and I'm so grateful to all of you for your dedication and showing up every week, for your desire to participate in the first place. You are leaders in this community. You embody the spirit of this program that we've created together. You are here to connect people. You are here to remove barriers. And you were doing that long before I met you. And so it makes perfect sense that you're in the roles that you're in terms of this program now. I forgot to introduce myself. I know that Cara Marie told you that I'm Christina Israel and I work with the city. And for the benefit of our guests, thank you, friends and family, for being here and supporting your loved ones. We're so glad that you're here to celebrate with us. So I manage our community engagement division of the Communication and Public Engagement Department, and that's a mouthful every time I say it. It's a lot of words, and what do they mean? Something that it's been a professional focus of mine since I started working with the city 2 years ago is thinking every day about how not just how are we sharing information, but how are we in conversation with the community? Because that's what community engagement is. It's not just making sure that people, that was nice. It's not just making sure that people have information. It's making sure that people know how to tell us information. How do they tell us what they think? How do they tell us what is most important to them? So in governance, we make policy decisions, we build things, we stand up programs, and those things impact people, and they impact people now and in the future. And how to make the best decision about what to do is not necessarily one person's job. Everybody who's impacted needs to have a voice and needs to have a say. That is at the heart of what you all are helping us do, should you choose to do it moving forward. So I just can't tell you what an amazing journey this has been. I want you all to know that we are here to support you. So as we get started in our work, which we're about to do over the coming months, my goal is that you have the tools that you need, that you have the support that you need, that you know that you are not alone, and all you have to do is look around this room and look up on this screen with your cohort members, your fellow graduates, and know that you are not doing any of this work alone. We are here for you. We are invested in your success. We're grateful for you. We believe in you. So I'm debating of whether I'm going to read you all a poem. Do you want to hear a poem? Okay. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm a little old-fashioned, and I think that ceremonial occasions are best marked by sharing poetry. So this is a poem by a man named David Whyte, and he is one of my favorite poets. He lives in the British Isles, and I've been listening to and reading this poem for about 8 or 9 years now. And it's written from his point of view as the poet. So I've heard him talk about it, and he said that he wrote it as an encouragement to himself because he knew the work that he needed to do, and he didn't know how to get started, and he felt alone. And so the poem is called Everything is Waiting for You. All right. Put my glasses on. Your great mistake is to act the drama as if you were alone, as if life were a progressive and cunning crime with no witness to the tiny, hidden transgressions. To feel abandoned is to deny the intimacy of your surroundings. Surely even you, at times, have felt the grand array, the swelling presence and the chorus crowding out your solo voice. You must note the way the soap dish enables you, or the window latch grants you freedom. Alertness is the hidden discipline of familiarity. The stairs are your mentor of things to come. The doors have always been there to frighten you and invite you. And the tiny speaker in the phone is your dream ladder to divinity. Put down the weight of your aloneness and ease into the conversation. The kettle is singing even as it pours you a drink. The cooking pots have left their arrogant aloofness and seen the good in you at last. All the birds and creatures of the world are unutterably themselves. Everything, everything, everything is waiting for you. I made 20 copies if you want one. Okay. It's my great honor now to welcome Mr. Marcus Kirkman to the mic. Thank you all so much.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
If we can we just take an intentional breath together in this moment? Just a deep breath in and to breathe out. Thank you. Thank you for that. This is a real moment. This is a real moment. And sometimes life can move so quick. We're in a moment, but we're thinking about something else. So I just wanted that breath to capture this moment that we're in. I first want to begin by saying thank you to the Finley House for the nourishment that you provided for our community. I want to say thank you to my dear colleague, Christina and Dawa, for what started as a thought, became a vision of what's possible, and just your leadership and your resilience and your passion for community and making this possible today. And I want to say thank you, the graduates, for listening to that calling that was within you that said, I want to do something in my community. I'm passionate about something. I want to get connected to community and coming in on the Saturdays and making that commitment. Truly want to say thank you. It doesn't happen with all of those pieces. It still just lives as a thought, but we're in a very real moment, and it's only possible because of all of you. My really brief share that if I may, for all of us here today, is that I invite us to think about what will I create next? What will I create next? You came into this space probably as strangers, not having spent close, intimate space and learning space like this, but you're leaving with very real connections with other human beings. And now the question becomes, what will I create with this that's been given to me? And that includes Marcus as well, right? I currently serve as our business inclusion manager with the city of Asheville. Very much like my colleague Christina, it's a mouthful. I don't need a title to walk into the space. For me, it's really about being with people in a very real way. But the end of the day, my responsibilities with the city is to take a look at the disparities that we've acknowledged through our disparity studies and other data points in regards to economic development in the marketplace and what opportunities exist for minority and women-owned businesses. And look at those disparities and say, why are they there? Are they there because there's not relationship there? Is there a lack of opportunity and advertisement? But connecting our minority women-owned businesses to the economic development opportunities through procurement and contracting. So you probably received the email from me this past week, encouraging you, if you hadn't already, to become registered as a vendor with the city of Asheville. And I also included the link to become minority a women-owned business enterprise certified through the city of Asheville. So please, I encourage you to please take that next step so that we have you in our database and our system, and as our program managers and our departments, we have 17 departments, as those needs arise, that they know and see that you live in these spaces. I'm fully accessible. All of my contact information is in the email address, and glad to support every way that I can. It's sort of serendipitous with Christina and I, because our offices are right next door, well, almost next door to each other. But this morning, when I left the house, I said, let me run by the office. And when I got to the office, I'm getting off the elevator and I'm looking at my phone, and I look up and who's standing there? Christina is standing there. And I went back to the office to get a book to read. And so when she said she was thinking about a poem, that is so serendipitous. So I just wanted to mark the moment, if I can, and share this with you. This is a book entitled To Bless the Space Between Us. It's by John O'Donohue. It is a book of blessings for different stages of our lives as we move through. This particular one is entitled For a New Position. May your new work excite your heart, kindle your mind a creativity, to journey beyond the old limits of all that has become wearisome. May this work challenge you toward new frontiers that will emerge as you begin to approach them, calling forth from you the full force and depth of your undiscovered gifts. May the work fit the rhythms of your soul, enabling you to draw from the invisible new ideas and a vision that will inspire. Remember to be kind to those who you work for. Endeavor to remain aware of the quiet world that lives behind each face. Be fair in your expectations, compassionate in your criticism. May you have the grace of encouragement to awaken the gift in the other's heart, building in them the confidence to follow the call of the gift. May you come to know that work which emerges from the mind of love will have beauty and form. May this new work be worthy of the energy of your heart and the light of your thought. May your work assume a proper space in your life. Instead of owning or using you, may it challenge and refine you, bringing you every day further into the wonder of your heart. Thank you for being here. It's so wonderful to be in relationship with you. Thank you.
Thank you to Christina and Marcus for sharing those words with us. I'm going to call Zipporah Orbisi to the stage. She is our Director of Project Management at Finley House Global, and she is going to be presenting the Cohort 1 certificates.
All right, I don't do this part, and I'm filled with all different things. I always have so many emotions. It's such a privilege to go after Christina and Marcus have spoke, because they are such power players for the city, and getting to know them has been such an honor. But one thing I can say is they walk their talk in a way that I know you all can probably feel that right now. Is Marcus just did something at the onset of his speech where he made everybody take a breath, right? So the program that we were all delighted to just see in our emails was around Inspire. And the definition of Inspire is to fill or imbue somebody with the ability to feel something, especially in the creative sense. And if he didn't just do that, I don't know what he just did, because I certainly feel so many things. So I'm glad I am going after him, but I'm also filled with feelings. And just a little note, I was talking to Alan about this a moment ago at the bar, but this is unique for us as a team as well, because we, on our journey with Finley House, have been working the majority of time with youth. So this started as youth organizing and uniting to repower. And what we always had the idea of our without the why, but to go on this journey with you all has been so special. And it has opened up my eyes to so many things. One of the things that we do with the youth is our generational story. And not to go too deeply in that, but we all have titles and we all have things that we go and live by. And I'm technically the director of project management with Finley House Global, and that means many different things. And I like that title because it doesn't pigeonhole me into one thing, because I don't want to limit myself. I don't like to sit inside of anybody's box or anybody's ideal of what I stand by. And I say that because of the generational story. I have grown up and tried my best to fit inside of a box, and I've learned how to push that a little bit. So what you see is there's so many layers to that. There's so many layers to you all, so it's important that you understand about other people too, right? So as we go out in the community, we have to understand that, and we've talked about this along the journey that we've been on. It's making sure we don't push our own narrative, making sure that we don't push our own agenda, and we make sure that the people in front of us are the people that we're serving, because we don't know their stories. So I say all that to congratulate you all and get to the point of what I'm here for, which is the certificates for cohort 1, and I'll try not to get emotional. But what I would like for you to do in this process, if you could, we have Mr. Dan here, who is our wonderful photographer, and Ms. Cara Marie is here. If we could also have Dawa come and stand next to Ms. Cara Marie. We're going to have you come take your certificate and pause for a photo if you could. So without further ado, I would like to call up Miss Vicki Burns. Or Miss Victoria, I'm sorry, Miss Victoria Burns. Thank you so much, Miss Vicki. This journey has been awesome with you. You have been one of the most instrumental in my growth, I would just say that. So I thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Miss Tiffany Debeloit. Give me the last name. Debeloit? All right. Here you are, Tiffany. Thank you so much. And I know that we have a little bit of a odds here because we had cohort 1 and cohort 2. So Miss Tiffany has been a power player with, again, as I discussed earlier on a side note, she already has so many connections, right? But this is just another layer to put her even higher up in the path and the track that she's on. So we thank her so much for bringing all the wisdom that she has brought to cohort 1. Next up, we have Ms. Shabazz Jones. Thank you. All right. And Ms. Shabazz has been wonderful in that she was a little bit of a shell to crack open for us. Very shy, but once you crack that shell open, she is so full of life, energy, and the community lives in her. So thank you, Ms. Shabazz. Did I miss him? No. Alan just cut it. So he did have to return to another obligation that he had going on, and I was trying my best to make it. I don't even know when he got up. So Alan Rosenthal, he is not here, so we'll accept this on his behalf and make sure that the city does accept it. Yep. All right, next up we have Mr. Tony Walker. Thank you so much, Tony. There you go. All right, and for those of you who do not know Tony, as you can see, he works out a little bit. But what we have learned, I mean, just in this space, we went through, you know, we're out of state and we're looking around and we've been given different recommendations by the team. But I feel like every twist and turn, every recommendation that we've been given, Tony has been somewhere. I mean, this man lives in this city hard, and he's not a native, right? So you're not a native, you are a native. So you left and came back, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so he's been around. So he's been around, he's impacted other communities, and now I guess he's come back to the heart of it, and he feels like he has to do something right here. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, we got Ms. Takora coming up to Ms. Takora Waters. Oh, we got our baby in hand too. Here you go. Okay, all right. Ms. Takora is one of the younger members of our first cohort. So she brought so many ideas, so many things that she's working with and learning, and filled us with so much knowledge. And by younger, I don't mean young. We just had, you know, our cohort was wide-spanning in age range. But with that, the work that she's been doing in the communities and the freshness that she brought and the life that she brought to the communications, we thank you for it. And again, too, just all of your communication with me has taught me so much as well. So thank you, Takora. And your children are wonderful. Thanks, Lauren. All right, I think that's all of cohort 1 that is here, but I am just going to recognize Ms. Bobette, who is a part of cohort 1, who is another one of our elders. And I mean, she brought so much wealth of knowledge, and she's already been working alongside, so she has a lot of pull, but this just gets her that extra sense of community. Then Miss Phyllis and Miss Phyllis, Miss Sunshine, right? So she brought the sunshine. If y'all know, y'all know. And if you don't know, you'll find out. And then Alan, so thank you so much. It's been an honor. Oh, Miss Priya, sorry. And then we have Priya Ray as well, who is at another event right now, but would have loved to have been here. It just so happened to overlap, and she is leading that, so obviously she has to go to what she's leading. But she was a part of our DIY community, and she was able to open our eyes to, I think, a different part of life or a lens in which we don't normally look from. And that's important, because I think, again, with the narratives and the things, our agendas that we bring to the table, it's so important to have somebody that is saying, hold on, back up, let's see where the roots of things started and where it comes from, no matter what area you're in, no matter what your cultural background and identity are, but just our faculties, our mind, and our bodies. That's across the board, that's everybody. So she was able to bring that raw realness to us and continue, as we got caught up in conversation, to bring that back to the forefront. So I don't know how I could have forgotten to say her name. I'm sure she's underneath. But yes, Ms. Priya Ray as well. So thank you all. And without further ado, I'll give it back to Ms. Carberry, because I didn't cry.
Thank you, and congratulations again to cohort 1. Thank you so much just for your efforts, your contribution. Miss Bobette Mays could not be here today, but she did send along a message, and Miss Bobette is the elder in our cohort 1, a native of Asheville, deep ties, very involved in city work and decision, just passionate about the community. And so I'm going to turn it over to Christina to share on Miss Bobette's behalf.
Thank you again, Cara Marie, and it's my honor to be able to share some words from Ms. Bobette with you all. So first, I'm just going to read it verbatim. First, I must thank the City of Asheville for putting together our Asheville Leadership Academy. I also want to thank the Finley Group for working with us in establishing a Leadership Academy that was full of excitement and very educational. To the wonderful people that participated in this academy, we learned so much about local government and the process to get things accomplished. We also learned from each other and how we can access resources to help different communities. We hope to continue the work by using the tools given during the Leadership Academy. Now is Ms. Babette Mays. Thank you all.
At this time, we're going to hear from Mr. Trey Irby, who was with us for Cohort 2, joined us in the space, also part of the CAPE department, I believe, right, Trey? Okay, yes, okay. They're working alongside Christina and Dawa, so welcome to the stage, Trey.
Thank you so much, Cara Marie. Cohort 2. Y'all, I feel almost like an honorary member. I know we're here focusing on a lot of what you all learned and what was imparted during this process, but I really want to acknowledge just how much you all brought in and just how much you all are actively doing and were doing prior to this process even starting. I'm glad that this program has been able to bring you all even further into the loop so that you can lend your abilities to the city of Asheville, if you so choose, to further support your communities and do continue some of the good work you've been doing. Cohort 1, I got to meet, I know many of you, but I got to meet some of you very briefly at the end of your time, but Cohort 2, I really want to thank you for everything that you all were able to teach me. It's been invaluable, everything that I was able to learn from you all during that process. Yes, it was many a Saturday that was given up, but it was many a Saturday well spent. And if I could go back, I would do it exactly the same way. So, and finally, I'd just like to say that we will be working to make sure, we're thankful that you have trusted us to partner with us so far, and we will be working to make sure that we live up to that trust that you placed in us. We understand that you are taking a step of faith in choosing to partner with the city, and your personal relationship, everything, all the work that you've done prior to this, the foundation that you've built for yourselves, it means so much, and we want to do our best to honor that. So during this process, as we're continuing to work, you'll have the support of Finley House Global, but you'll also have the support of the city, my support, Christina's support, as you move forward in doing your work as community connectors. And not only as connectors, but leaders in the community. This is just the beginning, and people are looking up to you. And I'm just so excited for where this can go. So I'm really looking forward to working with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Trey. I'm going to call up Mr. Christian Chambers, who was our community champion, to present the Cohort 2 certificates. And we're really excited that Christian was presenting to Cohort 2 because on our last session, Christian had some issues with his car and couldn't be present in the space with us. So I know that it means a lot for him to be able to speak with Cohort 2 today and present the certificates.
I don't do speeches, so speech. No, let's get it. Now, let's just get straight into it. It really was a pleasure doing all this with y'all. I learned as much as I feel like I spoke. So, yeah, it was good. And I'm not gonna get emotional, so I'm gonna stop right there. First up, Elvia Diaz. I'll say a little something. You know. You're a pillar, Elvia. A pillar. Take your picture. Not as good of a DJ as Z, but working on it. Miss Rose Gary. Miss Angela Jones. It's the wealth of information. Miss Valerie Smith Jackson. Go ahead, girl.
We almost went after you, baby.
You should have came and got me. Come on. That would have been nice. So we had a few members that are not here today. Miss Janita Sconners, Gigi, and Miss Summer Weldon, also wonderful wealth of information. And y'all say a prayer for Miss Rowe Rashonda. She's in the emergency room right now. Yes, but she's all right. Yeah, she's good. But yeah, she really wanted to be here. But yeah, y'all were amazing. I wish I could have been. You should have came and picked me up. That's fine. But yeah, I really hope this continues on, and yeah, we continue to connect with each other. I see a lot of these people around the room all the time in the community, and yeah, too much, Elvia. And so yeah, the work is being done, and it's just amazing to be a part of doing the work with y'all. So I'm blessed, and thank you all. Yeah.
Thanks, Christian. We are going to hear from Miss Angela Jones, who, again, was one of the elders amongst our cohort members, also a native of the city of Asheville with very deep roots, even with her family. And so we're just grateful for her to come and just share her wisdom and experience with us at this time.
Well, thank you guys for letting me have a few moments. I'll tell you, I'm always amazed when Spirit is at work, because what you heard a poem, then you heard from the heart, and as I was putting this together, which is going to be short and sweet, sort of like me, you're going to hear a common theme, I think. So with that, the gift of hours. As life unfolds, we experience phases: childhood, youth, young adult, young senior, and aged. No one prepares us. We simply live through each phase and we learn as we go. Hopefully, we are blessed to grow to a point where we know who we are, what we need, and how we add value and how others add value to our lives. At this stage of young senior, I am intentional about who I let into my life and what I allow others to deposit. And so, with intention, I would like to thank everyone who came together to form the second class of ours, who have confirmed for me these blessings. 1, speak from your heart. 2, look out for others in a spirit of relevance. 3, listen to others. Whoa, wait a minute. I may need my thing just closed on me. Oh, there we go. Okay. 3, listen to others with openness and the ability to take something offered away. Open yourself to be vulnerable. Someone may implant on your heart. Seek to be resilient, but not authoritative. Seek the facts and let them diminish the fiction. And when you cannot remember all the tools, throw that book away and trust your heart. Thank you, Ours Class of 2024. You have taught me more than you know. Godspeed, Miss Angie.
Thank you so much, Miss Angie, for sharing that with us. We were exceptionally grateful. Our cohort 2 was actually all female, which was really exciting, a difference from our first cohort. One of the cool stories from cohort 2 was, I think after our very first session, Miss Valerie was moving, and Miss Summer, who is absent, actually volunteered to help Miss Valerie with her moving, came, met her separate, apart from the cohort meetings, and helped her to move her things. And so just really excited about the genuine, authentic connections that were made between these two cohorts. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Dawa Hitch, who is the Director of the Community Engagement and Public, I'm messing it up, the CATE Department. And I will bring up Ms. Dawa Hitch at this time.
It is a mouthful. Communication and public engagement, it's a lot, and it covers a lot of ground, and it is truly an honor to be able to serve in this position. The greatest honor, though, is the opportunity it gives me and our team to connect with our community. It's what drives the work that we do. I know for me and my colleagues, what on the hard days, what helps us get out of bed and keep showing up to do the best job that we can, and it's a real honor. There's been so much brilliance that has been shared today. A lot of ground's been covered, and I just want to echo everything that everybody has shared so far about just how meaningful this program has been, and how it's really rooted in inspiration and resilience. I want you all, I hope you can, when you walk out of this, to just know deep in your hearts that you are valued. We really are all in this together, and your contributions to your community help shape all of our respective paths forward. So thank you for having the courage to say what your experience has been, what your aspirations are, the opportunities that you see ahead of us. I want to encourage you to keep doing that. And I'm just touched by all of the heart that has gone into this work. I want to say a few thank yous first to you all. I know that it can be hard to show up for yourself, your family, your community, but you all have chosen to take time to do that. So I want to show a lot of gratitude to you all there. I want to thank Finley House Global for the amazing energy that they've brought to this program. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of how it came to be. But first I want to make sure that everybody in this room knows that we wouldn't be here without your contributions. So thank you for being so enthusiastic about this opportunity. Thank you for all of the wisdom that you've brought to this endeavor and the leadership that you've shown in bringing out the best in people so that this program could be the best that it could be. I want to thank my team and my colleagues at the city. You all, along with Finley House, took an idea that was born in community. You took an idea, and it was very purposefully not rigid, right? Because we understood that the best academy was going to be one that was co-created. And sometimes it can be hard to work without a roadmap when you've got all the other demands of your of our day-to-day work coming at you. So I just really want to say thank you to you all for showing up and working in some ambiguity at different points and just being open to letting it bloom into exactly what it needed to be at this point in time. So thank you so much for that. It is such an honor to work with you all. All of you inspire me every day. I want to thank our city manager's office for their support of this program, and our city council as well for choosing to fund this particular project. So now that all that's there, and I got through it without crying, I brought my little napkin. I want to tell you a little bit about the legacy that you all are carrying on. So these needs have been here decades. Just from my small little point in time, I can share with you that this academy is the culmination of over 15 years worth of work. And it came, I'm going to tell you a little story. So I think it was last Friday, we were, anybody know about Hood Huggers? It's a program, and you get to learn about some history of Asheville from a very real rooted position. It's led by Dwayne Barton, and Dwayne and I worked together on the ground in Burton Street and Pisgah View mostly 15 years ago. And when we were on that tour with him Friday, we've worked together, stayed connected over all these years. And what I love about Dwayne, which is what I love about this group as well, you guys are fearless. And you know you have a voice. And again, you've got the courage to share that. And he was talking about some programs that we had in the past that were grant funded and how challenging it is when the funding goes away and then the work that was done almost just stops. And as he was sharing that, I was thinking Community Engagement Academy, our Community Engagement Academy. So all of those years, we've heard that it's important to value and proactively seek the voices of community members that have been historically missing from conversations. So we knew we wanted to move into this area where we were very intentional about nurturing those connections. And we never forgot. We never forgot. It might have taken a long time, but I hope that can be some inspiration to you all, that sometimes really meaningful things take some time to bloom into all that they can be. And right now, we've got the right group of people that are ready at this moment. We've got the right group of people that are ready to embrace all that you all can bring to the table through your connections. And we've got the right group of people to guide us, to get it down. This is what it looks like to be meaningful in this community. And I want to assure you that you've got the folks that are working in City Hall to make sure that those opportunities can be realized. So it's been a long time coming. This idea came from the community. It came from the community. And now's this right moment in time, and I'm so excited to see what we're going to be able to accomplish together. So Thank you all for everything you bring to the table. It is an honor to know you and to work with you. And again, I just can't wait to see what this effort is going to bring to the table, because your voices do matter. Showing up matters, and your courage and commitment and perseverance is really inspiring. So thank you all for your participation, and I look forward to what's coming in the future.
All right, thank you, Ms. Dowa, for sharing. And before I hand it over to Mr. Daniel Finley, our Director of Programs, I am going to call Mr. Christian Chambers back up here. We do have a certificate of appreciation for him as our community champion. So just a few words quickly about Christian. Christian is a hard worker. He is thoroughly a man of the community. We had the opportunity to go with Christian and Sergio into, I believe it was Pisgah View and Hillcrest together. And while we were there, people were stopping Christian and saying, hey, and talking to him. If we ever had a question or an idea that we could make come to fruition, we would say, hey, Christian, do you happen to know someone? And he's like, yep, I know like 2-3 people. And we're like, great. Christian was always volunteering and just going the extra mile to make this Academy experience a great one. He is the director of, what's the name of the Safe Shelter, and they're working to provide shelter for families, not just men or women experiencing homelessness, but families. And so just lives what he talks, and we're just excited to present you with this certificate of appreciation for all the work that you did, Christian, as our community champion. All right, and so at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Daniel Finley. I do want to say this graduation was more for you guys to sit back and enjoy. Our sessions looked nothing like this, with us being up here talking the whole time. It was very much interactive. It was very much listening to what you all had to say and share. And so we're grateful that you would sit back and relax and let us just say how grateful we are to have known each of you and to work with you. And at this time, I'll bring up Mr. Daniel.
All right, yes, yeah. Congratulations. You can do better than that. You can give yourself a round of applause. You should feel satisfied. We will no longer email you. That's not true, I'm lying. We will email you. But you get your Saturdays back, and so congratulations to you and your Friday nights, because if you want to really participate, you got to lock it down on Friday night so that you can be fresh in the morning. So congratulations to both cohorts, the graduating class of 2024. So now when people ask you when did you graduate, you can say 20. You can say, congratulations. You put your schedules on hold. You endured tech challenges. You had to bring your children. We did. You did homework. Who would have thought in your, these days we would still be giving out homework. And so just as excited as you should be for yourselves, we are excited for you as well. And glad to have gotten to know such a lovely group of people in a lovely place, Asheville. Webster, the great philosopher Merriam-Webster, philosophers, defined community as a unified body of individuals, such as the people with common interests living in a particular area. However, In a world where suffering unites us, celebration inspires us, and life connects us, community extends far beyond the limits of proximity. Community. A group of men in a land far, far away at a time unspecified, united by a single belief that self-sacrifice was the greatest of all of life's virtues, were moved by the desire to place the needs of others before their own. They began spreading their message of love and selflessness, and people started to take notice. They began to sell their possessions and forfeiting their comforts, all to ensure the stability and advancement of their neighbors. Before long, the community grew from a group of 12 men to thousands upon thousands upon thousands, each one looking to the welfare of the community. And I am proud to say, it brings me pleasure to say that you join the thousands and the 12 men who put community, the needs of the other, before their own. So, congratulations once more. I won't keep up, borrow more of your time. Didn't we say that a lot during our meetings? We want to have integrity and we want to cherish your time. And after every meeting, we would always say, look, we gave you back 20 minutes. I'm going to give you back some time today. However, a threat to our academy, early on we noticed that there was a threat to our academy. And the threat was avarice or selfishness, greed. Because it was easy for you to say, well, you know, it's low-hanging fruit, low effort, I can just show up and I'd get a paycheck. We realized that that was could have been a hindrance to our efforts and the initiative. But I realized that whether or not that was in your heart, you know what I'm saying, that's for you to deal with. Whether or not that was in your heart, what I realized somewhere along the line is that what we were sharing and the community that we were building is invaluable. So your skills have been sharpened and you've been exposed to an approach that honors the powers in place while allowing you to wield and use the influence that you possess to challenge archaic systems. So we honor what's already there and we also use what we have to improve what is in existence. I want you to know that you are not inferior. No one needs to give you a voice. You only need be reminded that you have been endowed by your Creator with humanity and value. You have everything you need. Raise your voice. And we said repower because we don't believe in empowering. It's already there. So, congratulations. I'm happy to say that I was a part of this. And onward. Onward. With that, I mean, that's our time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Please help yourself to more food. Our awesome photographer will probably be going around taking more shots. And again, I want to encourage you guys to get involved. As we were mingling during our happy hour, I had a conversation with Miss Vicky, and she was talking about her army, the army, and she said, sometimes it's like you're alone. Because, you know, we came here and we learned skills and we talked about and we went through different modules and things like mental health and community engagement and the research process and all of these tools that we uncovered and discovered and unwrapped. Even with that, it can be lonely when you're trying to knock on a huge wall, a huge door. And then we looked at the screen. Miss Vicky and I. And I said to her, well, there's your army. Every name that you see here. So we walk hand in hand. You have our support. You have your city government support. But most of all, you have the support of the person sitting next to you. Just like those 12 men who selflessly built that community. We encourage you guys, and we're thankful that we can say we met to do the same. Amen? All right, so glad you're here. Take some food, hug somebody, and leave your donations with me. God bless you guys. It was great being with you, and it ain't over. I'm sure we'll meet again. All right.